All right, here we go. This one's going to be a 357 SIG test. And today we have some double tap ammo to try out. So this one is the 147 grain Xtreme XDF bullet. Here's what that one looks like. It is very similar to your Spear Gold Dot. It does have your standard brass case, and it does say that that one's rated at 1250 feet per second. And that is out of a 4-inch barrel. So today we're going to be testing it out of our full-size Glock 31, and that one does have that 4.5-inch barrel. So we'll be going through our gel. It is a 10% block. You have our catch block behind that, so a total of 22 inches of gel. Our 4 layers of cotton t-shirt on the front, and like always, we'll set up our chronograph so we can hopefully pick up those impact velocities. So let's set up and see how this round does. Here we go. All right, we're still back to 15 feet. All right, let's see what we did on that one. All right, so it looks like our impact velocity on that one was 1149. So pretty much, let's see, what, 100 feet per second less than what it was supposed to. Definitely not the greatest velocity, but still not too bad. All right, so there is the entry. Looks like I got a pretty decent hit on that one. And this one, it doesn't have the biggest hole in there, so you can't really see down in there like normal, but pretty decent start pattern so far. So let's check it out from the top. Oh yeah, not too bad at all. So it looks like it definitely was dumping quite a bit of energy. Looks like we carried quite a long ways too, and we did actually make it into our second block, just barely though. So what happened, not sure if you guys will be able to see it. So it looks like we made it about 1.5 inches into our second block, and it actually did veer down, go through our table. We were able to catch the round, but it wasn't actually in the block. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up this catch block, because we actually have another test coming for this side. So I'm going to set up this catch block and see if we can actually catch one of those rounds, without it actually going through the table and damaging it. So we'll do a quick measurement on this. So it looks like from our widest spot, we are at about 2 inches. So definitely not the widest, but still pretty good. So you can see right where that thing came in, started to open up pretty nicely, dumping quite a bit of energy, and it looks like it did carry it pretty much the whole way through. Kind of settled down towards the end, but not that much. And then you can see it started to veer down a little bit. So let's see the measurement on that one at its widest spot. So it looks like we're about 2.5 inches from the side. So a little bit more from the side than the top. And like I said, it did end up going through our table. We did catch it. It is a little bit mangled up, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of reverse these blocks. And then I'm gonna shoot through this one and hopefully catch it in this one. So let's see how it does. All right, so let's try this one more time and see if we get any kind of different results. All right, let's see how we did on that one. So it looks like our impact velocity on that one was 1270. So definitely kind of inconsistent, pretty big spread. What's that? Pretty much 120 feet per second, 121 feet per second spread. So not too good there. So let's see how we did. All right, so definitely looks like we got a good hit on this one, and you can see right down in that cavity, looks like there's a pretty decent star pattern so far. So let's check it out from the top. So let's see, not sure if you guys will be able to see it. It is a little bit cloudy over block. You can see it came in, started to open up pretty nicely. Pretty consistent track going all the way through, and then we actually did make it into that second block. So let's see what kind of measurement we have on this side. So at our widest spot, we are at about 2 inches, so pretty much the same as the last one. So definitely not the widest stretch, but you know, still pretty decent. So it looks like as soon as it came in, started to open up pretty nicely. There's some very small fragments going through. I'm not sure if the camera's picking that up, so it's definitely dumping some more lead, just like the ones previous to this. But looks like a pretty decent stretch cavity, and then you can see that round resting in that second block. So let's see what kind of measurement we have from the side. And from the side, we're about 2 1/4 inches, so a little bit more from the side than the top. This one is our catch block, so it's not completely calibrated like our other ones, but you know, it's very, very close. They're mainly just a little bit cloudier, so you can't really see into them, but then you can see that round. So let's see at our leading edge. We are at 2 3/4, so that is 13 3/4 inches of total penetration on that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna flip these blocks so you guys can see, you know, the pass one last time, and then we'll pull that around and see what it looks like. All right, so here's that first path. It is this block on the left, and then our second path was there on the right. But if you can see from up here, they are very consistent. You know, so that's good to see. Of course, the velocity was quite a bit different, but could just be lighting or something like that. So here is that first shot. See, it came in, opened up pretty nicely, carrying quite a bit of that energy through it. And then you can see right there towards the end, it started to dive down, which in this case it would be up, and then we did go through our table. And here is that other track. So you can see where it came in, started to open up. Same thing, nice consistent track going all the way through. And then we did make it out of that one into the second one. So we're gonna pull this around and see what it looks like. All right, check these things out. Looks like they both got some pretty awesome expansion. So the first one was the one on the right. That one is the one that went through our table. And our second one is the one that we actually caught into gel. So not too bad. So here is that first one. Looks like it did definitely open up really nicely. You can see kind of a gold dot down in there. Like I said, they are very similar to the gold dot, but they're called the Xtreme X-Def bullet. Definitely got quite a bit of expansion. You can see that flat spot where it did go through and hit our table. But definitely opened up pretty darn wide. And it's good to see that this one actually held together. Those ones that we were testing earlier were going so fast that they were just kind of coming apart. So pretty good to see there. And then here is that one that went through. We caught into the gel. This one is definitely looks like it kind of starting to make it to its breaking point right at that high 1200 mark. You see that gold dot, same thing. Open up pretty darn nicely. And really peeled those petals back for sure. You can see a couple of them kind of peel over that base, but for the most part they're still all intact. There's still quite a bit of gel still left in this, so we'll rinse all that stuff out here at the end when we do our pictures. But pretty good to see that round you know, perform pretty well from those double taps. So we'll check them out one time from the bottom. So the one, they're both 147. So this is the one that went through that table, was our first shot, and then here was our second shot. So definitely quite a bit of expansion for both of them. So like I said, I will rinse these before we do our screenshots and all that good stuff here at the end. But there we go, guys. That one was the 147 grain bonded defense by Doubletap. Thanks for watching. All right, here's that cross section for that one. So this one definitely got some really nice splitting going on. Really nice star cut in there, quite a bit of damage. Definitely not the biggest cuts, but still very impressive. Same thing on this side. You can see all those cuts kind of going down in there. I did remeasure these, and they're peaking right at about 2.5 inches and averaging right at about 2. So not the most damage, but still pretty impressive. And I am only going to show that first block that I shot. I'm not going to show our catch block shot. So let's cut this one open. All right, so here's after being cut. So this bottom is the right side, this top is the left. You can see pretty much as soon as that one came in, I guess it was a little bit delayed, maybe that half-inch mark where it started to open up, and you can see it actually did, you know, pretty darn good. It wasn't the fastest moving round. I believe this one was right at about 1150. For some reason, our second one was at 1270. So definitely over advertised, but not very consistent. But you can see quite a bit of that cotton t-shirt that it drug in. Did have a pretty wide hull point cavity, but definitely not too bad at all for that one. Really nice deep cuts. Same thing on this side. You can see where it hit, and started to open up. This side was a little bit better of a cut, so you can really see that entrance track, but same thing on this side. Nice deep cuts and a pretty good channel going all the way through. So I think we probably will retest this one here in the future, just so we can, you know, get a little bit better, more consistent results. And I will actually be doing it out of all 3 barrel lengths, so should be definitely pretty fun. But there we go, guys. That one was that 147 grain bonded defense loaded by Doubletap.